We're looking at the volume of prisms. It says the volume of a prism, the formula is V equals big B times H. All right, so we need to talk about what those stand for. Big B stands for the area of the base, and H stands for height. And when those two variables are right next to each other, remember that means that you're multiplying. So we're multiplying the area of the base times the height. Alrighty, so we're going to look at this first problem. It says, use the formula V equals big BH to find the volume of a gift box that is 3.5 inches high, 7 inches long, and 6 inches wide. So if we're talking about a gift box, that's going to be a rectangular prism. It's a prism that all the faces are rectangles. So rectangular prisms are easy because it doesn't matter which order you multiply the numbers in. There's only going to be 3 different dimensions, and you're just going to multiply them together. So to find the volume of a rectangular prism, you've learned this before, it's just length times width times height. But in 7th grade, we start using area of the base times the height. It's the same thing here. So we're just going to multiply. I'm going to do 7 times 6 first because I know that off the top of my head. 7 times 6 is 42. And I'm going to do 3.5 times 42. Remember, when you multiply decimals, you don't have to line up the decimal. You can, but it's way more complicated. So don't worry about doing that. Alrighty. So I've got 1470 here. Remember, when you're multiplying by decimals, you have to look at your original problem and see how many numbers are behind a decimal. Here I've just got 1. So make sure I've got 1 number behind the decimal in my answer. That would be 147. And it's measured in inches. And volume is cubed, so you have to put a tiny 3 up there. And that'll be the volume of your prism. All right, scrolling down just a little bit, we have another rectangular prism. Now I am going to use V equals big BH here just to kind of show you. All right, I like to take my formulas and break them down. So I'm going to put the big B by itself and the H. That way I can get those and then use the formula. So big B means area of the base. Now on a rectangular prism, the base is usually the bottom. Not always. You're going to have to read the problem and see which one the base is. But here the base is the bottom. So to find the area of the base, we have to find the area of this bottom rectangle. Remember, to find the area of a rectangle, you have to use length times width. So the area of the base here, we're doing 10 times 2, which is 20. So the area of the base is 20. And then the height would be how tall the box is, right? So that's 5. Now that we have our numbers, we can go ahead and plug them into the formula. So it's V equals the big B times the H. So 20 times 5 would be 100. So it'd be 100 inches cubed because it's volume. All right. Scroll down a little bit. It says find the volume of a garden seat in the shape of a triangular prism with a height of 30 inches and a base area of 72 inches. Okay, so notice here, this is a triangular prism. We've been doing rectangular prisms. All right, so this is a little bit different. Any kind of prism has the same formula. So our formula is still V equals area of the base times the height. Now we like this problem because it tells us the base area, which means we don't have to find the area of the base, it gave it to us. So again, I'm going to take my formula and break it down. The area of the base is 72 because it tells us the base area. All right, now we need the height. Well, it says the height is 30 inches. So we just take the area of the base and multiply it by the height. So I need to do 72 times 30. All right, 2160. So our answer here, 2,160. Look for the measurement is inches and volume is cubed. All right, last one. We have a triangular prism here. Okay, we know it's a triangular prism because it's got 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. Right? If it's got more rectangles than the other shape, then it's a prism. This is a triangular prism. We're going to use the same formula. So V equals area of the base times the height. I'm going to break it down. Alrighty, now on this one. Because the shape is a triangular prism, we know that the base is a triangle, right? The name tells us. So to find the area of the base, we have to start by finding the area of this triangle right here, right? That's our base. Even though it's not sitting on the triangle, because it's a triangular prism, we're finding the area of the triangle for the base. So you need the formula for area of a triangle, right? Area of a triangle is 1/2 BH. So looking at this triangle, remember to use your right angle. So we're using the 9 and the 4. I don't want you to get confused if there's other numbers out here, right? You're going to use the right angle. So these two is what you want. All right, so we're going to do 1/2 times 9 times 4. I know that 1/2 of 4 is 2. So 2 times 9 gives me 18. So the area of my triangular base is 18. Now the height, if I were to take my triangular prism and stand it up on the base, so I would have to turn it so that the triangle's on the bottom, it would look kind of like a really tall piece of cake. And this 8 here would be how tall it is. So the height is 8. Now to find the volume, you take the area of the base times the height. So we need to do 18 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So it's 14. So our volume here is 144 inches cubed. And that's how you find the volume of a prism.